there, this is Wake Angel 2001, and let's begin let's begin April's custom action figures with a commission for AC Reinhardt. The third in his commission, it is a Princess Sally. So, as you can see, the recipe is pretty typical. You have Silver's arms and legs, Wave's torso, but then there is something special about this one. Take a look at this headpiece. That's right, AC Reinhardt decided to spring the extra $15 to buy one of Red X Power's Princess Sally heads. Well, they're his Freedom Leader heads. So let's get into that Freedom Leader head. Red X Power's Freedom Leader is probably one of the best Princess Sally action figures I've ever seen, at least in regards to capturing her look from the classic SatAM cartoon. The head, he told me, is made from a Blaze the Cat with the muzzle and hair sculpted on, with Milliput, of course. But then he decided to take a stab at mass manufacturing them, so he made a mold of the original head he made, and then poured in some what is this? It's resin. Yes, he poured in some resin into the mold so that he could make replicas of the head. That way, if anybody wanted to make a Princess Sally custom that looks like the old cartoon, then rather than having to, sculpt around, they can go ahead and make just one of these. Now, there are some flaws to this manufacturing technique, and that is little bubbles sometimes form on the surface. In this case, there was a rather significant one right on the bridge of the nose. But hey, this isn't exactly made to be a mass-produced toy. This is made for customizers, used as a shortcut. And a little tiny bit of epoxy sculpt spackled into that little hole makes it completely smooth and completely irrelevant and perfect. So when you paint the head up, it looks like this. These aren't the usual colors that I would use to make Princess Sally, but they are the colors that Red used to make Freedom Leader. And AC Reinhardt wanted me to replicate that color scheme as closely as possible. Now keep in mind, I didn't use the exact same paints because he used a different brand, which is not sold in my area, and even if I were to get them, they're very expensive. So this is pretty much Citadel's here. Let's see. Well, the beige is still Testor's flat tan. They call it dark tan, but it's barely skin tone. The red is called Mephiston Red, and the shade of brown is XV88. Yeah, that's a weird name for a color. Sorry about that little banging noise. So that is the story of the head. Oh yes, of course you had to drill in your own neck hole. So this is something you want to have a Dremel tool on hand for. Remember, this is a thing made for customizers, not just anybody. But yes, if you want a Princess Sally to look as close as possible to the classic SatAM cartoon, see if Red can be convinced to make some more of these. I heard that he stopped the manufacture of these, but I think if demand comes up, he just might start making them again. At this point, Princess Sally is pretty much the same as any other figure I've made. The torso is Waves with modified tail and upper body. Yes, that's what we'll call it this time. The boots are the same style boots from the comic book that I always like to make. One that has that little lace thing on top, and then they're painted blue. There is one more interesting thing about this figure, and that is the pegs that went into her legs. You see, AC Reinhardt sent me some figures, of course, but he sent me a silver figure and a Wave figure. And the silver figure that he sent me was old enough that it still used the old style pegs, which are skinnier and longer. And those pegs do not fit into Wave's torso. They wobble around and, they just don't go. So I had to swap out the pegs with some thicker pegs from other figures. So yeah, keep in mind, the age of a figure can affect whether you can part swap it or not. Here is the completed Princess Sally, and I think that this would be a good time to tell you folks that I am going to be away this weekend. I'm attending a convention in Philadelphia, so I will not be home all weekend pretty much. So that means that my Sonic Boom vlog is probably not going to be up until Monday at the earliest. On Unless, of course, I can convince the guys I'm staying at the hotel with to get up at 7:30 at 7 in the morning so that we can all watch it together, or that I can watch it in the room, which is unlikely because we're probably going to be out real late on Friday. But yeah, the Sonic Boom vlog will still happen, but it's probably going to be a couple of days late. Alright, so this is Wake Angel 2001, and technically this is a collaborative custom. It's like a Princess Sally Freedom Leader thing. Bye-bye.